Anyone who would like to participate in Bhagavad Gita reading and discussing today, please kindly take seated. Oh, you just got it? Very nice. Okay. Hare Krishna, please join the Sangha and get the book. We have Bhagavad Gitas. You can just go around and take it. Hare Krishna, everyone. Haribol. Thank you for joining Tuesday Sangha, which is called Circle of Influence. Every Tuesday at 6:30, we meet for digging deeper and understanding Bhagavad Gita on a deeper level and have a practical application of Bhagavad Gita. As Bhagavad Gita says, it is very blissful to read and discuss Bhagavad Gita in an association of devotees, and Krishna loves it. So today, we will do it again for the satisfaction of the Lord, for the satisfaction of Srila Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of ISKCON, and all our Guru Maharajas. And before we begin, we will do one round of mantra meditation. The mantra meditation is Maha Mantra. Please raise your hand who haven't heard of the mantra before. Is there anyone who haven't heard of Maha Mantra before? You haven't heard. Perfect. 2 people, right? 3 people? 4 people? Oh, you've heard. Speak up, please. Mm-hmm. Okay, so does everyone know Maha Mantra? Perfect. So the meaning of the Maha Mantra, dear Lord, please engage me into your service. And why are we asking the Lord to engage us in the service? Who can tell me? His grace, part of His grace, okay. Part of the Godhead, okay. Yes, so to keep us in His lotus feet, yes. To get rid of our karmic debts, yes. So all of the answers are correct. And one of the main answers is that it is our constitutional position. As spirit souls, we are servants of the Lord. And when we engage in the dharma, which is the action of our constitutional position, we become blissful, happy, and feel our eternal nature. Because dharma of the spirit soul is spiritual, therefore it relates to the spiritual world. And Maha Mantra is not different from the Lord Himself. Therefore, when we chant the mantra, we connect ourselves with this spiritual vibration, which is again eternity, bliss, and happiness. And in order to do so, do you have japa beads? Does anyone have? You left it at home, right? Okay, so the way we're going to chant the mantra, first of all, it's going to be 108 times, okay? And we're going to pronounce it loudly so that you can hear each other. And why do you think we need to pronounce it loudly? Why do you think we need to chant the mantra as loud so that you can hear your neighbor? What is the purpose of it? That's right. So the vibration travels through our whole body and purifies it. And another thing is we control our attention, because our attention may flow in a different direction, right? So if we focus our attention on the sound vibration of our neighbors chanting, it means that we will concentrate on the chanting very well. Okay? Perfect. And before we begin chanting, we will ask for the blessings from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Panchatattva, because Lord Chaitanya brought the Maha Mantra to us. Yes, he made it available to us. So with this in mind, please let's repeat the mantra 3 times. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivas Adigora Bhaktavrinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivas Adigora Bhaktavrinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivas Adigora Bhaktavrinda. Perfect. And let's begin. So just sit straight. Concentrate your mind on the vibration. Listen to your neighbor. Chant it as loud as you can. And remember that we are in that position getting connected with this spiritual vibration of happiness, eternity, and bliss. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you so much for wonderful chanting. Mahamantra ki jai. How's everyone feeling after one round of chanting? Blissful? So I will repeat, probably you know, that it is recommended to chant 16 rounds of Mahamantra daily in order to stay in that blissful vibration for the entire day and share it with others. Okay? Wonderful. So we will continue reading Bhagavad Gita. And we read chapter 4. To summarize, does everyone have Bhagavad Gita? Yeah? Perfect. So who can tell me what is chapter 1 about in a few words? Questions that Arjuna asks. Yes. That's right. And why Arjuna is asking questions? Okay. Mm-hmm. Fear, right? He feels fear, yes, and he feels frustration. So he's in fear and frustration. And in the second chapter, what is the second chapter about? Who remembers? Okay, so the second chapter is the solution. So the Lord is giving a solution. He speaks about the eternity of the soul. And the spiritual solution is usually the main one for any material problems, because all of the material problems, they are created by 3 factors, which is fear, attachment, and anger. Everyone can come closer, maybe, yeah? So that everybody's sitting. You can move closer. Mm-hmm. Sure, yeah, not a problem. Okay. And in the third chapter, yes, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. We cannot hear over there. It's too loud. So in the third chapter, Krishna is giving Arjuna the knowledge about the spiritual and material nature. So why do we need to know both? Who can tell me? Why do we need to know about, why do we need to have this knowledge about both spiritual and material nature? What happens if we don't have spiritual nature, spiritual knowledge? That's right. And we become overwhelmed, like Arjuna. Yes, he showed that overwhelmment. What happens if we don't understand our material nature? That's right. Yes. So, yes. Yes. So we won't be able to perform our material duties. Therefore, both are important. But what is the priority? Spiritual, yes, because material is the instrument of the spiritual. Therefore, we need to know both, but spiritual is the most important. So in chapter 4, Krishna is teaching us how to serve him. And today, we will continue reading from text number 14. Before we begin, we will give our obeisances to Srila Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of ISKCON. Jai Namom Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami iti namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Guravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshetarine. And then we will give obeisances to the absolute knowledge by repeating the mantra Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya 3 times. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Thank you. So please open your books. I will have a different page because I have hard copy. It's chapter 4, text number 14. Page 191. Hare Krishna. And we will be taking turns, so each of us will have a chance to read and to serve. So it's a very wonderful devotional service that we are performing today. So I will start with the way we will be reading. We will read Sanskrit, translation, and 1 paragraph of a purport. If the text is too big, we'll just split it. Okay? Does everyone have Bhagavad Gita? You have? So chapter 4, text number 14. Okay. Namam karmani limpanti name karma phalesh priha iti mam yobhi janati karma bhirna sabadhyate. Translation. There is no work that affects me, nor do I aspire for the fruits of action. So in other words, Krishna is not affected by any kind of material work, and he is not looking for the action. So he is not attached to the fruits of actions. One who understands this truth about me also does not become entangled in the fruitive reactions of work. In other words, Krishna is the supreme leader. He shows us the right path of detachment, freedom from attachments, freedom from anger, and freedom from any kind of anxieties. And in other words, if we understand this truth about him, we will not be entangled with the fruitive reactions of work. What are the fruitive reactions of work, in your opinion? What they may be?
For example, if we seek the result of, if we do something and we want the result back for us, like if we, for example, help someone and we want like good karma or maybe help in return,
Mm-hmm.
that's the fruitive reaction maybe.
Yes. So there are actually 2 kinds of fruits. One fruit that we enjoy and one fruit that we suffer. Yes. So those fruits will not affect us if we follow in the footsteps of the Lord. And if we are free of those reactions, what happens to us? What does freedom give? Yes, happiness, eternal happiness, right? we are away from that duality. Basically, we transcend the duality if we follow in the footsteps of the Lord. Purport. As there are constitutional laws in the material world stating that the king cannot do no wrong, or that the king is not subject to the state laws. Similarly, the Lord, although he is the creator of this material world, he is not affected by the activities of the material world. So the Lord created this material world, but he is not affected by the modes of the material nature. He creates and remains aloof from the creation, whereas the living entities are entangled in the fruitive results of material activities because of their propensity for lording it over the material resources. And lording it over the material resources means that they want either enjoy or they want to consider it as mine, they get attached to it, and because of this, they feel all kinds of negative emotions and feelings. The proprietor of an establishment is not responsible for the right and wrong activities of the workers, but the workers are themselves responsible. So Krishna is showing us the division of the responsibility. He created this world, but he's not responsible for what we do in this world. Whatever we do is our own responsibility, and this becomes basically our karma. The living entities are entangled in their prospective activities of the sense gratification, and these activities are not ordained by the Lord. For the advancement of sense gratification, the living entities are engaged in the work of this world, and they aspire to heavenly happiness after death. The Lord, being full in himself, has no attraction for so-called heavenly happiness. And here is the secret. It says, the Lord is full in himself. So for us, in order to be detached from the fruits of our actions, what is the secret here? We need to be full in ourselves. But can we be full in ourselves? No, we cannot, because we're small, we're dependent, right? We're spirit souls. So when we are attached to material activities, to the fruits of actions, can we be full in ourselves? No. Therefore, what is the secret? We need to be attached to the Lord himself. And how can we be attached to the Lord himself? What is the way of attachment? Yes, to follow. Yeah, so to follow the steps that he's mentioning in Bhagavad Gita. What is the word for this? When we follow the steps that Lord mentions in Bhagavad Gita? Devotion, yes. So through the way of devotional service, we get attached to the Lord, and that's how we become full in ourselves. So this is the secret. The heavenly demigods are only his engaged servants. The proprietor never desires the low-grade happiness, such as the workers may desire. So again, the fruitive activities are called here low-grade happiness. He is aloof from the material actions and reactions. For example, the rains are not responsible for different types of vegetation that appear on the earth, although without such rains, there is no possibility of vegetative growth. It's a good example. And there is a verse from Vedic Smriti. Vedic Smriti confirms that fact as follows. Nimitta matram evasau shriyanam sarga karmani prathana karani bhuta yatovai shrija shaktayaha. In the material creations, the Lord is only the supreme cause. The immediate cause is material nature. So the Lord is the supreme cause because he's the cause of all causes, right? Everything emanates from him. And the immediate cause is material nature. Okay, so the material nature, basically the immediate cause of the material world, by which the cosmic manifestation is made visible. The created beings are of many varieties, such as demigods, human beings, and lower animals, and all of them are subject to the recreations of their past good or bad activities. In other words, so all of them are subject to the reactions, right, of their good and bad activities. In other words, whatever we have, whatever we get, whatever we experience is a reaction of our past activities. It's a reaction of our karma. The Lord only gives them the proper facilities for such activities. So the Lord only gives us the facilities for those activities and the regulations of the modes of nature. So the modes of nature, there are three types of the modes of material nature. Mode of goodness, which regulates knowledge, bliss, but not spiritual, but bliss, stability, maintenance. Mode of passion, that regulates creation, achievements, attachments, and mode of ignorance. Mode of ignorance basically influences in a way that makes living entity be the opposite to the goodness. For example, it can be laziness, it can be all kind of negativity in the world. It's all managed, envy, greed, anger, frustration, different painful relationships. It's all managed by the mode of ignorance, and mode of ignorance indicates lack of knowledge. So the Lord basically gives us those regulations. And how do you think that regulates us? Knowing how the modes of material nature action, right? How do they regulate us? How do we become influenced by the modes of material nature? Yeah, so basically we get influenced by the way of our, like whatever we desire basically becomes the way we get influenced. For example, if we are hankering for achievements, right, it will create an attachment. Which mode will be affecting us? Mode of passion. Yes, mode of passion. Or, for example, if we would like to study, read a lot, get a good education, what kind of mode of will be affecting us? Mode of goodness. Yes. So we need to cultivate, first of all, the consciousness, right, which will make us closer to the spiritual, which is goodness. So the goodness, the mode of goodness, is kind of a bridge towards spirituality, because without cleanliness, without stability, without kindness and proper thinking, we cannot just simply engage ourselves into reading and devotional service. So mode of goodness is the basis. And above that is spiritual, it's transcendental world, yeah. So the living entity is responsible for his own acts. The Lord only gives him facilities through the agency of material nature, the external energy. Anyone who is fully conversant with all the intricacies of this law of karma, so that is the law of karma, or fruitive activities, does not become affected by the result of his activities. And again, what the Lord recommends us to do? What should we do in order to not to be affected? Do. Yeah. Can you speak up in the microphone?
I can be loud, that's okay.
Is it okay? Okay.
Like my voice and
Okay, that's
I
fine.
know like my voice in the mic.
Okay.
So basically I can explain it through an example. So I had heard the story where a person was a wealthy man and he kept on doing donations every month, though it was good, but he said it, I have done this donation, I have done this donation. So he became in a karmic debt with all those who give donations. So then the life circle happened, and when he has to go through it, like that's how I.
This is the reaction, right?
Yeah. So he has to get poor after a certain amount of time so that he can settle all his karmas with everyone he had donated. But if you say give the donation in name of God, you are not affected. No one is responsible to give it back to you because you're giving it to the God. So
Yeah.
God will have to settle it. It's not you.
Yeah.
So it won't affect you.
Yes.
But the condition is only good karmas are being affected. It's not like you I'm
Yeah,
not gonna pay
that's
for
right.
it, that's not gonna happen.
Yes.
You have to be very specific with the karmas that you choose.
Yeah, that's a very good example. There is actually a verse from Bhagavad Gita which says that in order to do the donation in a sattvic way, it should be done to the proper person, at the proper place, and at the proper time, and with the proper mood, so intention. Yeah, so that's a very good example. And then in that way,
Karmas is like if
yeah,
it's like if I go and do something wrong or kill someone, any living being or just or any animal, just
yeah,
like a taste of my mouth,
that's right.
in name of God, it's not gonna work. I'm gonna be
Responsible for this.
responsible and I
Yeah,
have to pay my karma.
yeah.
And I cannot say, oh, I take God's name and did the thing.
Yes, thank you so much. So the Lord is teaching us here, right? Since the Lord is not looking for the results of his activities and he's not attached to fruitive actions, so this is what he is teaching us to do so that we are not affected by any good or bad karma, and which is actually entangling in either positive or negative way. Okay. One who does not know the transcendental nature of the Lord and who thinks that the activities of the Lord are aimed at fruitive results, as are the activities of the ordinary living entities, certainly becomes entangled himself in fruitive reactions. But one who knows the supreme truth is a liberated soul and fixed in Krishna consciousness. Okay, so let's continue, and we will start with you. Do you mind? Text 15? Yeah.
Oh, I should say this to you.
Yeah, so read the shloka, and then translation, and then one paragraph on purport.
Okay. Evam janatva kratyam karma purver api mumuksh shubhi kuru karmavya tasmat tvam purvatam kritam.
Thank you.
All the liberated souls in the ancient times acted with this understanding of my transcendental nature. Therefore, you should perform your duty following in their footsteps.
So in the previous verse, the Lord is telling us that he is not aspiring for the fruitive actions. Now in this verse, he is saying that all of the liberated souls acted in the same way, and now we need to follow the example as well.
There are two classes of men. Some of them are full of polluted material things within their hearts, and some of them are materially free. Krishna consciousness is equally beneficial for both of these persons. Those who are full of dirty things can take to the line of Krishna consciousness for a gradual cleaning process, following the regulative principle of devotional service.
Let's elaborate on this a little bit. So what kind of impurities are mentioned here? What is the material dirt that is mentioned in a purport? Greed, lust, envy, yeah, yeah, anger, jealousy, yeah, yeah, perfect, excellent, yeah. So these are all impurities, right? And it says that these dirty things, as Srila Prabhupada is explaining, can be cleansed by following the principles of the devotional service. And what are the principles that we know? So first of all, there are 4 regulative principles, right, which are called principles of freedom that help us actually perform our devotional service on a good level. What are they? Okay. So the 4 principles which are called regulative principles. First of all, no meat eating, okay, no intoxications, no gambling, and no illicit relationships. No illicit sex, no illicit relationships. So these 4 regulative principles help us to stay in a clean and stable state of mind so that our attention is not going in the wrong direction, And basically, it helps us to focus on developing our spiritual identity. Yeah, and the devotional, the principles of devotional service itself, there are actually three main ones. What are they? Glorifying the Lord, right? Remembering the Lord, okay? And associating with devotees, getting together to do devotional service. So these are the three main. There are actually 9, and we will discuss them further throughout the Bhagavad Gita, okay?
Should I continue?
Yeah.
Those who are already cleansed of the impurities may continue to act in the same Krishna consciousness so that others may follow their exemplary activities and thereby be benefited. Foolish persons or neophytes in Krishna consciousness often want to retire from activities without having knowledge of Krishna consciousness. Arjuna's desire to retire from activities on the battlefield was not approved by the Lord.
And let's explain here as well. So if we become experts in devotional service, it doesn't mean that we just can, retire and do nothing, we're cool. No. That's right. What we can do, what kind of benefit we can do is to show example to others. So we need to keep the mercy flowing, because by the mercy of Arjuna and by the mercy of the Lord, we're getting this knowledge. And by filling ourselves with knowledge, we can continue the same flow by letting others see the results of the devotional service in our behavior, through our speech, through our actions.
Yeah, sorry, I had to find where I was. Yeah. One need only, right, from there.
One need only.
One need only
To retire. Yeah.
I need to start from here, right? Yeah. One need only know how to act. To retire from the activities of Krishna consciousness and sit aloof, making a show of Krishna consciousness is less important than actually engaging in the field of activities for the sake of Krishna.
And let's discuss those field of activities. What are they? What can we do for the sake of Krishna? That's right.
Doing bhajan, kirtan.
Yes, doing bhajan, kirtan, reading together Bhagavad Gita, discussing, understanding, attending the lectures, coming to the temple, to just attending the temple, attending holidays, celebrations at the temple, doing service at the temple. So all these are activities in Krishna consciousness. Giving holy name to people, giving Bhagavad Gita as a gift to people. So these are wonderful activities.
Arjun is here advised to act in Krishna consciousness, following in the footsteps of the Lord's previous disciplines, such as the sun god Vivasan, as mentioned herein before. The Supreme Lord knows all his past activities, as well as those of persons who acted in Krishna consciousness in the past. Therefore, he recommends the act of the sun god, who learned this art from the Lord some millions of years before. All such students of Lord Krishna are mentioned here as past liberated persons engaged in the discharge of the duties allotted by Krishna.
In other words, even if we are liberated, we still, follow the duties allotted by the Lord to fulfill devotional service. Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Kim karma kim akarmiti kvao payatra mohita tate karma pravaksyami yaj jnatva mokshe subet. So the meaning is, even the intelligent are bewildered in the determining what is action and what is inaction. Now I shall explain to you what action is, knowing which you shall be liberated from all misfortune.
Yes, so Krishna in this verse will give us the explanation. Actually, Srila Prabhupada will explain, right, what action, what it means, the action and inaction. And basically, if we understand the art of action and inaction, that will take us to the liberation from all kind of misfortune. Okay, let's continue.
Action in Krishna consciousness has to be executed in accord with the examples of previous bona fide devotees. This is recommended in the 15th verse. Why such action should not be independent will be explained in the text to follow.
Yes. So from the previous verse, we also know that we need to follow an example, right, of the liberated souls. And here, Srila Prabhupada is explaining the example of a bona fide devotees is the best example for us to follow. So we're reading paragraph by paragraph. Now you can pass the mic. It's a small paragraph. Would you like to read from you? Yes? So we'll go in a circle like that. Mhm.
To act in Krishna consciousness, one has to follow the leadership of authorized persons who are in a line of disciple succession, as explained in the beginning of this chapter. The system of Krishna consciousness was first narrated to the sun god.
So sun god was the first student of Krishna. Okay? Mhm.
The sun god explained it to his son Manu. Manu explained it to his son Ikshvaku. And the system is current on this earth from that very remote time. Therefore, one has to follow in the footsteps of previous authorities in the line of disciple succession. Otherwise, even the most intelligent men will be bewildered regarding the standard actions of Krishna
So
consciousness.
the most important thing is to keep the standard of Krishna consciousness. That's why when we follow in the footsteps of previous acharyas or teachers or devotees, right, we can continue the quality of the service, the quality of Krishna consciousness.
For this reason, the Lord decided to instruct Arjuna in Krishna consciousness directly. Because of the direct instruction of the Lord to Arjuna, anyone who follows in the footsteps of Arjuna is certainly not bewildered.
Thank you so much. And you can pass the mic further. Yeah.
It is said that one cannot ascertain the ways of religious simply by imperfect experimental knowledge.
So imperfect experimental knowledge, I'm thinking, I'm guessing, I don't know, maybe so, doesn't work in this case. Because we're speaking about the process which comes from, first of all, from spiritual world, right? And it is eternal, it is universal. And in order to understand that complex process, we need to, again, follow the disciplic succession of the masters. If you want to learn something very well, you need to follow the master. It's the same process here. We have devotees, we have our teachers, and by the grace of Srila Prabhupada, we are reading this purport now, and we are understanding the science of Krishna consciousness.
Actually, the principles of religion can only be laid down by Lord himself. Dharmam tu sagsad bhagavata parinatam. No one can manufacture a religious principle by imperfect speculations. One must follow in the footsteps of great authorities like Brahma, Shiva, Narada, Manu, the Kumaras, Kapila, Prahlad, Bhisma, Sukhdeva, Goswami, Yamaraja, Janaka, and Bali Maharaja. By mental speculation, one can ascertain what is religious or self-realization.
Yes, so by mental speculation, what does it mean, mental speculation? That's right. That's right, yeah. So when we use our assumptions, those assumptions are based on what we have. And now, of course, our knowledge is very limited. Yes, it's imperfect.
Therefore, out of causeless mercy of his devotees, the Lord explained directly to Arjuna what action is and what inaction is. Only action performed in Krishna consciousness can deliver a person from entanglement of material existence.
Thank you. Okay. Pass the mic.
कर्मोनाय हाय अपि बुद्धवायम का विक्रमान अक्रमानस का बुद्धवायन गहना कर्मानो गाति. The intercalations of actions are very hard to understand. Therefore, one should know properly what action is, what forbidden action is, and what inaction is.
Okay, so Srila Prabhupada will explain in the purport all these three truths, right? What the intricacies of actions. They're very hard to understand. So this is the law of karma. Because when we create the actions, different actions, right? The results, they can get entangled. And one should know properly what action is, what forbidden action is, and what inaction is, meaning we need to choose the right path in order to, again, use our material resources in a proper way when we practice our spiritual consciousness. Purport.
If one is serious about liberation from material bondage, one has to understand the distinction between action, inaction, and unauthorized action. One has to apply oneself to such analysis of action, reaction, and perverted action because it is very difficult subject matter to understand Krishna consciousness and action according to its mode. One has to learn one's relationship with the Supreme. One who has learned perfectly known that every living entity is an internal servitor of the Lord, and consequently one has to act in Krishna's consciousness.
Yes. So in other words, in order to understand that truth, what action is, what inaction is, what forbidden action is, we need to know our relationships with the Lord, right? And our relationship with the Lord is that we are eternal servitor of the Lord. And that consequently one has to act in Krishna consciousness. So our dharma is that we are spirit souls and we are part and parcels of the Lord. So consequently, of course, the proper way for us to act is to act in Krishna consciousness. Okay, that will be the proper action. If we understand our relationships with the Lord, there won't be any misunderstanding.
The entire Bhagavad Gita is directed toward this conclusion. Any other conclusion against this consciousness and its attendant action are vikramas or prohibited action.
So prohibited karmas are called vikarma. We have karma, we have akarma, which is free of karma, right? And vikarma, which is a prohibited action.
To understand all this, one has to associate with authorities in Krishna consciousness and learn this secret from them. This is as good as learning from the Lord directly. Otherwise, even the most intelligent person will be bewildered.
That's right. So for us, in order not to be bewildered, we need to learn from the master with the proper authority. Okay? Text number 18. Next.
कर्मणाय अकर्मा या पसेत अकर्मणाय सा कर्मा या सहे बुद्धिमान मनुष्येषु सा ता कृतस्ना कर्मा करत. One who sees inaction in action and action in inaction is intelligent among men, and he is in the transcendental position although engaged in all sorts of activities.
Yes, this is a very interesting verse. Let's read the purport.
A person acting in Krishna consciousness is naturally free from the bonds of karma. His activities are all performed for Krishna, therefore he does not enjoy or suffer any of the efforts of work.
Yes, so the person who acts in Krishna consciousness, free of karma. So what we are doing now, this activity is free of any karma because we're acting in Krishna consciousness.
Consequently, he is intelligent in human society, even though he is engaged in all sorts of activities for Krishna. Akarma means without reaction to work. The impersonalist ceases fruitative activities out of fear, so that the resultant action may not be a stumbling block on the path of self-realization. But the personalist knows rightly his position as the eternal servitor of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, he engages himself in the activities of Krishna consciousness, because everything is done for Krishna. He enjoys only transcendental happiness in the discharge of this service. Those who are engaged in the process are known to be without desire for personal sense gratification. The sense of eternal servitorship to Krishna makes one immune to all sorts of reactionary elements of work.
That's right. So when we're speaking about inaction, it means action in Krishna consciousness. And that action does not give us any karmic reaction. So we stay free of karma. So this is the difference. Okay, next verse.
यस्य सर्व समारंभः काम संकल्प वर्जिता जनाग्नि दग्ध कर्मणां tam ahu panditam buddha. One is understood to be in full knowledge, whose every endeavor is devoid of desire for sense gratification. He is said by sages to be a worker for whom the reactions of work have been burned up by the fire of perfect knowledge.
Yeah, so there are several things here which are very important to understand. So the person in full knowledge is devoid of desire for sense gratification. As soon as we have full knowledge about ourselves, about our spiritual nature, about the Lord, when we understand Him, our sense gratificatory desire will diminish, it will be lower. And it is said that for such a person, all of his karmic reactions are burned up by that knowledge. So all we need to do is to cultivate that knowledge of ourselves as spirit souls and our relationship with the Lord and understand the Lord. That's all. Purport?
Only a person in full knowledge can understand the activities of a person in Krishna's consciousness. Because the person in Krishna consciousness is devoid of all kinds of sense gratifactory propensities, it is to be understood that he has burned up the reactions of his work by perfect knowledge of his constitutional position as the eternal servitor of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is actually learned who has attained to such perfection of knowledge. Development of this knowledge of eternal servitorship to the Lord is compared to fire. Such a fire, once kindled, can burn up all kinds of reactions to work.
So here we're speaking about the person who has no desire for sense gratification. So this is one thing. Why do you think the person might not have? We understand that the reactions are burned by the fire of knowledge, right? But what makes him not desiring? What is it? What is the secret? Yes. That's right. Yes. So what is it inside that helps him to not to seek, I would say, not to seek? What is it that inside that helps him not to seek for sense gratification? Yeah. Yeah. So what kind of that internal love? I love that point. You said the internal love, right? That makes him not to seek for outer things, for satisfaction, I would say, right? What kind of love is this? So if we love, for example, there are different kinds of love that can be there. So what kind of love allows that? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes. So can we call that self-sufficiency? That feeling of internal love that satisfies our internal desires and feelings, can we call it self-sufficiency? Yes? Okay, perfect. So those who are in knowledge here, they are self-sufficient. So this is the secret. And why are they self-sufficient? We have discussed that before in the previous verse. Can we be self-sufficient by ourselves without the Lord, without this divine energy? No, we cannot, right? That's why we start craving, because we become empty. So by attaching to the Lord, we become self-sufficient. By attaching to material things, we become self-deficient. The opposite, right? So this is the secret. And therefore, a development of this knowledge, what it does, it burns up all of our desires. And because, why the desires? Desires are the reactions of our past karma. We don't get the desires on itself. We get them as a reaction. So if we repeat multiple times one thing, at the end of the day, we will want that thing. That's how it happens. Yeah. Okay, text number 20.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Tyaktva karma phala sangam nitya tripto naras raha karmani abhi pravartopi naiva kinsit karoti sa. Abandoning all attachment to the results of his activities, ever satisfied and independent, he performs no fruitive action, although engaged in all kinds of undertakings.
And this is a wonderful conclusion of the previous verse. So the person who's in full knowledge, right? First of all, he abandons all kind of attachment to the results of his activities. So he acts, he's satisfied and independent. And he performs no fruitive action, although he's not aloof from work, he works, he's not attached, and he's satisfied. So this is the conclusion of the person who is in full knowledge, whose reactions are burnt up by the perfect knowledge. Okay, let's continue to the purport.
This freedom from the bondage of actions is possible only in Krishna consciousness. When one is doing everything for Krishna, a Krishna conscious person acts out of pure love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and therefore he has no attraction for the results of the action. He is not even attached to his personal maintenance, for everything is left to Krishna, nor is he anxious to secure things, nor to protect things already in his possession. He does his duty to the best of his ability and leaves everything to Krishna. Such an unattached person is always free from the resultant reaction of good and bad. It is as though he were not doing anything. This is the sign of akarma, or actions without fruitive reactions. Any other action, therefore devoid of Krishna consciousness, is binding upon the worker, and that is the real aspect of vikarma as explained herein before.
So let's go step by step here. It's a very important verse to understand. So the freedom from bondage of action is possible only in Krishna consciousness when one is doing everything for Krishna. Let's give practical examples. How can we do things for Krishna, like from everyday life? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So how do we do it for Krishna? Like some people, you know, they feed food, they give food to satisfy themselves, thinking, oh, I'm so good, I'm doing it, right? So how do we know that we are not satisfying our ego, that we are doing it for the satisfaction of the Lord? You know how people would like to be famous. And famous means I would like to do it. It's just me here in the center of attention. It's not the Lord who gave me all this power so that I can be in the shine, like so that I can shine, right? So how do we do it for His satisfaction? Because when we do it for just our satisfaction, we become what? Entangled. We become attached to this. What if they're not satisfied? What do they think about me? What is there? What is what, right? So we're looking in your heart, right? It's like a feeling of what? Happiness? What kind of feeling? Yeah, yeah. And are there any other examples? How can we do things for Krishna? Like, for example, you are making money. How can you do it for Krishna? He's what? Say again? Uh-huh. Who is paying us, actually? Yeah, Krishna is paying us. Through who? That's right. So the one who gave us job, right? He also has Paramatma in his heart. So Krishna is the actual cause of all causes. He's the giver of everything. And people who actually give us money, Krishna is acting for them. That's right. So he, like, how do we know that we are doing it for Krishna? We get it from Krishna. Now how we can spend it for him? How can we spend for him? Just let's say on a practical level, you have your own family, you're paying your bills, right? Huh? Yes. So yes, making a donation is a good example, right? Uh-huh. Yeah. Okay, so be a giver. So one way is be a giver. That's right. Yes. So I will give you a very simple example. For example, if you're paying your bills, you're paying for your living, right? Mortgage or something. How can you do it for Krishna? If you do katha at home, if you do service at home, if you invite devotees to your place, if you cook food, spiritualize it and give it to others, your place become like a temple. So you're paying not only for a home, you're paying for the temple where Krishna resides, if he's in the center. So this is one of the practical things. Or, for example, you engage your family in reading Bhagavad Gita. It is very simple. You get 3 books. One is for your brother, one is for your father, one is for somebody else. Let's read together. This is very simple and this is very practical. Okay, and you're doing it for Krishna. You satisfy him. If he is satisfied, all of us are satisfied. Because what? We are parts and parcels of the Lord, right? If we are pouring the water to the roots, the tree is growing. If we're pouring the water on the leaves, what happens with the tree? It doesn't do anything good, right? So these are the practical things. For example, if you're seeing someone in frustration, how can you act in Krishna consciousness? Talk to them. What kind of knowledge does Krishna give to Arjuna to pacify him? Yes, yes. Yes. Mental peace. That's right. Or what you can do, you can act on your own example, right? What do leaders do? They show by example. All of us who are in knowledge, we can be an example for others, right? Therefore, if you show some knowledge through your actions, even without giving advice, people may follow. They will ask you, how do you have this calmness in you? How is it that you're so kind in the situations when other people cannot? And you can share your knowledge. So this is acting for Krishna. What else can you do? Practical things. Teaching a person Mahamantra, very simple. How I'm an anxiety. Chant Mahamantra. Let's chant it together 3 times. Feel it. So it's very, very simple. So there are simple, practical things how we can act in Krishna consciousness in a daily life, right? And of course, there are actions of devotional service, which are very purifying, and the more people you engage in this, the happier they will be. So, yeah, so let's conclude on this. Let's share our realizations, because it's 5 minutes left before the altar is open. What have you learned from today? What are your realizations? What are you taking with you to practice? Yes. Mm-hmm. Nice. Perfect. So you found a lot of universal principles, right? And you found that the knowledge that you had before very similar, right, to what we've discussed today. And this is wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for coming and sharing this. Anyone else? Or if you have any questions, maybe, from today's class? Okay. Okay, so we've learned today, first of all, that Krishna is willing us to not to be attached to the fruits of actions, right? And how we stay detached is by practicing devotional service, but also studying Bhagavad Gita, because this knowledge burns up all kinds of desires for sense gratification, which actually come from our inability to be self-sufficient, I would say in a different way. This knowledge makes us self-sufficient, and this is what Krishna wants us to do. So once we understand our position, once we're self-sufficient, we can show the example of others, and for us, in order to continue our spiritual growth, we need to follow in the footsteps of our teachers, acharyas, and the Lord himself, because he gives us the best example. So this is the conclusion of today's session. I will be very happy to see you at our next session on Tuesday at 6:30, next Tuesday. And now is a good time for prasadam. Prasadam is a sanctified food, which was offered to the Lord. And once we eat this food, this vibration goes inside, because our body is what we eat, actually. So let's honor it. Hare Krishna. So there will be a GD